First thing I got to do is make it square like that. Okay, I got to make it square the whole way, because eventually what I'm trying to make is a nail like that. That's the kind they used to make for horseshoeing. So I got to make it square, and then I got to taper it down to a point. See, it's got a point. What good is a nail without a point, right?
Okay.
That's a blacksmith joke. A nail without a point is pointless. Not that funny. Okay, so once I get it really narrowed down, this is a tool that I use. It's called a nail header. That's how I can tell if I got it narrow enough. See if my nail fits through there about that far, then I know it's ready to cut off and I can put the head on it. Okay? So the nail header is an important tool too. Okay, so let's see if I've got that piece of metal hot enough to try to make that nail. Oh, that's a little bit hot.
Hot.
It's very important to not work on anything when it's too cold. And I'll show you in a minute why that is. Okay, what's the name of my measuring tool so I can figure out if it's long enough? Nail header, right? Fit it through. Oh, that's long enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in the fire one more time. I'm going to warm it up one more time, and then I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll put the head on. Okay? But first, you've got to warm it up again. Blacksmith spends a lot more time warming up the metal than actually hammering on it. Okay, so, yeah, there goes the fire again. So since I'm going to cut it off, I'm going to put another tool in my anvil. That's my cutoff tool. It's like a chisel. Okay, so I'm going to put it right there.
It's like a knife.
Yeah, it's like a knife. Put it right there, and then I can cut it off as soon as I'm ready, as soon as I've got it hot enough. So you see how I'm always cranking this handle? That's to make the fire hotter. That's very similar to this unit right here. If I crank this handle, and if you put your hand down there, feel that? Yeah, blowing air. It's a blacksmith's hair dryer. We use that when we have shampooed our hair. You know? It gets dirty in here. Except we have to have somebody else to crank it for us. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing this here. I'm blowing air at the bottom of the fire through this pipe here. Because fire likes air. It gets hotter that way. Okay, so when I come over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this nail off, right? So I got to have everything ready. I don't have a lot of time. So the nail header's there. I'm going to use this small hammer to cut it off. And then it'll be ready. Okay. There it is.
Hot.
Hot, hot.
Don't ever touch that.
You know, put it through the
Never.
nail header. Don't hammer it all the way through because we'll just end up dulling that chisel blade.
So you reuse the same metal every time?
Yep, I'm going to make another one out of that as soon as I'm done with this one. Now let's see if it's still hot enough. I'll make the head. Okay, that nail is done. Now I have to hammer it out of there. I could just hit it like this, but that metal, even though it's not orange, it's still hot. And if I just hit it like that, I'm just going to end up bending the tip. So first I'll cool it in the water. That's all that's there for. Or if, a horse shows up, you can drink. That hasn't happened yet. And there's one nail. It takes me about a half an hour a nail. It'd take a long time to build a house, wouldn't it? Yep. So that's why once they started using nails to build houses, then they started making them in a factory. See this one here? That's called a wire nail. They just stamped those out in the factory. They had a big bunch of wire, and the machine just stamped it out. It took me all day to make about 80 of these. They could probably make 100 a minute like this. So, these ones were only made for horseshoes, back when they needed to make individual nails for horseshoes.